Oh, there we go. Good morning. Let me get this going. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the morning dew for certified doers just like you. I'm Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates to 93rd District. Y'all know where I'm at. If you don't, it is the top of the year. So, what happens at the top of the year? We are in Richmond lawmaking. We're getting to lawmaking. If you don't know, we got kind of a slow start. There was a water issue here in Richmond, which caused us to sort of delay a couple days, and so we're in the midst of getting all the things together. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, please do not hesitate to drop them in the chat. If you got something going on in a community that you want us to share, don't hesitate to drop it in the chat. This is your time. So I can sit here and be a talking head the whole time, but in real life, this 30 minutes that we have is meant for you to interact and for us to, so if you've not been here, morning dew, 30 minutes every Thursday, 7 o'clock, you, me, we talk about the good stuff. So I'll talk about where we're at, the committee situations and what do we expect to see. We've already this week passed 3 constitutional amendments out of the House. Once those constitutional amendments, I believe, passed out of the Senate too. So what we can expect coming you all's way on your ballot this year in 2025, you'll have 3 constitutional amendments. And what a constitutional amendment is meaning that we're trying to change the Constitution of Virginia. We're trying to make 3 big changes. It's not a small thing because it's a whole 3-year process. You've got to pass the language. So 2 years back, they passed the language. Then, wait a minute. No, we're in year 2 of it. So yeah, last year we passed the language. Then this year we had to pass the language again, right? And then now we have to go and it's going to you, the voters. So you're going to vote as to whether or not we're going to allow people to marry who they want to marry, if we're going to allow people that are returning from incarceration to automatically get their right to vote back, and if we're going to allow for body autonomy and reproductive freedom for people, for women. Okay, it's a whole thing, and it is exciting that it gets to go to you, the voters. So we've done our part. Now it's going to go to you. I just looked at myself, realized I kind of look like Austin Powers. Sorry, sometimes you get up and you just keep moving. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Jason. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody on Instagram too. So good to see you. So that's where we're at. I suspect we've just started having committee meetings. Like yesterday, I went to agriculture. So if you're keeping up with us, I'm going to try every day to put a little bit of something in my stories. So, or reels or story, not reels. I'm fibbing. So I'm going to try to put stuff in stories. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, I'm saying the right stories. Don't beat up on me because I'm old, okay? Oh, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss Charlene. Stay safe. It is cold out there. I walked outside and I felt like I got smacked in the face. Number 1, it's dark, okay? And we up. So shout out to y'all for being up this early cold morning. And number 2, it's cold and I'm in the elevator today and the gentleman said it's going to be 9 degrees next week. So please bundle up. Take care of yourself. We all need to be present. Okay. So yes. But so for me, I have 15 bills. None of those bills have been what they call docketed. What docketed mean is they haven't been assigned to a committee. So I don't necessarily, I can hypothesize as to where I think they might go. I can hypothesize to where I think they might go, but I don't know because that's at the discretion of the Speaker of the House. So the Speaker and his team decides what bills go to what committee. What I have found over the past couple of days, because my bills are out there, what it means is I hit file. And so that means anybody, including you in the Commonwealth of Virginia, or anywhere they got internets, can go to what we call LIS, which is Legislative Information System, lis.virginia.gov. And you can look at every piece of legislation that has been brought forth in the Virginia General Assembly by anyone. So we all can look up and see what's out there. So because it's out there, we start getting people coming to our office talking to us about what are you doing? Why are you doing it? And one of the things that, not one of the things, one of the biggest things I think we've heard a lot from is about a bill we have called Right to Repair. What we're trying to do is allow you to be able to repair your own stuff. If you can do that. Things like cell phones nowadays have gotten, like, changing a screen because they've been in our lives so long is not something that you should have to pay $300, $400, $500 for if you know how to change the screen, right? So you've got a lot of corporations that really feel like you should always have to come back to them for any repair, anything. We literally had an organization, and I won't say which one it was, come to us and say, well, people don't want to repair their stuff. They want to buy new stuff. So essentially they want to get sent. They want new stuff, new equipment. So essentially, like, you don't want to fix what you have. We just want you to, you consumer just want to buy stuff. So I was like, do people really think people just want to keep buying stuff when it breaks? I mean, we just have gotten to a point where we've gotten to a point where there's a culture of leasing. Like, we as consumers shouldn't own anything, to include, I heard the story about the woman in the printer ink. And I think if you've on here before, you heard me talk about, these instances, but HP will shut your printer down if you don't use authentic ink when there's cheaper ink that you can use, right? Like, you can't use lock it up. So we're trying to avoid those sorts of things and hopefully get you to be able to do the little fixes to your stuff. Another bill that I think we've gotten a lot of sort of feedback on, and I'll take you guys. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you into the other office, right? So I'm in my office, and if you haven't been to Richmond, hopefully you'll get to come and see me. We keep a little decorations on the wall. But how we kind of track things is we have this board, and you can kind of see it here, right? Like, I have a board, and the staff, I obviously don't write this beautifully. Let me just say that. But they write all of the bills that we have down, and we kind of keep track, and we determine whether or not it's going to a committee, whether it's going, or subcommittee, committee, and then if any action takes. So we're tracking it throughout the whole process. So I guess I said again, I got 15 bills, right? Trying to keep those up and going, but that's it. Like, that's where we're at, and it's going to be work. But not only that, y'all, I know you see the binders in the background because I can see on the other one that's lagging, but for each bill, we end up having to make sort of a cheat sheet for me, because sometimes I got to refresh. It's a lot of information. But in here, we keep the bill, anybody we talk to, any of my notes, anything I need to do to present, because at some point when it gets referred to committee, then I'm going to have to stand up in front of that committee and present that to them. Let me give you a little tour of the General Assembly building since you're here. So this is my office. Outside of my office, you'll see these are new this year. They're fancy. Y'all, they're fancy this year. They put these things up where you can kind of see whose office is. And I've got an office mate across the way, another legislator that works down that hall, who's really cool. And then here is where the desk. We have a person. So if you've never been to Richmond, I'll show you. There's a desk that sits up here. Right. So let me walk backwards. I'm all out in the, y'all might think I'm doing too much. So there's a desk that sits right there. Right. So here are the elevators where we sort of overlay between us and another side of the building. But at this desk is what is called, they call them an AA, a legislative assistant. And what that person does is like the first line of defense before. So if you come to visit, you're going to come up to this desk and you're going to see Miss Margie. See, I'll touch her tag, but don't tell her I touched her tag. I did it. Okay. You see Miss Margie, she'll be sitting here and she'll be like, who would you like to see? That's not how she talked, but that's me kind of making it up. And she'll get somebody from the office. If I'm there, get you there or whatever. We have a little phone where you can leave us a little message. It's new this year. So if you miss me, because sometimes people come and I ain't here. But you still gotta meet people. You still gotta see somebody. You sign in. Sometimes we get cool stuff like in our hallway this year, there's some artwork going down. I can't see you, just so you know. No, I was making sure you knew I wasn't putting you in a video. Okay. No worries. So there's artwork that goes along this hallway. Like this is from a couple different places. Art for Journey, Art on Wheels, Arc of Virginia, who are really cool people. Arts Cultural Center of Glen Allen and the North Star Academy. So they've got all their art here. So it's a happy place. It's the greatest show on earth. Okay, so I'm looking in the comments and I see, let me see if my thing will work. Brian says, oh yeah, it is really great to have access to LIS. If you're not familiar with LIS, like it is a great tool to have. I believe it's a great tool to have. I think so. If you're looking to learn a little bit more about that, I'm here for it. Just reach out or go to LIS and start navigating. If you have trouble, we can help you out. Super great. Jason said, thank you for informing people. So many people are unaware how to see what's going on in Richmond. I don't think there's a dedicated way for us to actually show y'all what's going on in Richmond. So I do my very best, right? Like we don't always get it right. You don't see all the things, but I'm trying to make it to make at least the people that I'm connected with more connected to what's going on in Richmond. And Brian Daniel is absolutely right. Next week is Norfolk Day at the Capitol. Don't beat me up. I will post about it. But members of Norfolk are invited to come here to Norfolk to be with other Norfolkians and see the Capitol and all the good stuff. It's a lot of fun. Brian, forgive me this early. I'm trying to remember the details of the date, but if you do, can you plug it so I can say it out loud? I know that it's coming up. Jason says, funny you mentioned HP and ink. I had an HP printer do that to me when it didn't recognize the HP ink cartridge was authentic. I now have an Epson EcoTank. Yeah. How they gonna shut your stuff down and make you buy their stuff? Like that is so wild. Like I'm shutting no, my way or the highway. And it's not that like they mentioned that to you, like you will not be able to use it. It should be on the box. Like you can't use this printer without only purchasing authentic HP ink. Like I can't take that. I don't love that. Good morning, Kimmy Keisha. I see you. She's on Instagram. She said, good morning to everyone. Good morning, Kimmy Keisha. Funny. Okay. So, Antoine Haynes asks, he says, are Democrats on the South side and Republicans on the North side? No. However, I was talking to a person from the other side the other day, and he had mentioned how we have walked so far into where we're super divided. It used to be, your office, the person right next to you, the office could be Republican, or like my office mate could be, and they sort of only put us with our party people, and they used to be mixed up with each other. So it's not North or South side. And I mean, I'm happy to be on the South side, and I get the analogy or the irony there, I guess. With most cities having a North and South side that are kind of weird. But yes, no, that's not how they mock us off. That's not how they do us. Antoine said, oh, you have a cool looking office. I try. I'm going to give y'all a peek, but I really want y'all to come up here. If you have the bandwidth, I appreciate it. I have a theory, okay? I remember the first time I came up to the Capitol with Mr. Aswad. If y'all in the Norfolk community, Mr. Aswad. He brought some of the kids up. I brought almost all the little kids on my block to come up. And I remember walking into these offices and it feeling so stuffy, like I wasn't supposed to be there, or like I was in trouble. And so my goal with my office is to make it feel more like a living room than an office, so that people feel comfortable. Like we just here talking, just tell me what's up. So I do try. I'll see if I can give you guys there's some art by Poetry Jackson up there, but like this is my office. I try to keep it celebrate the things that I love, right? There's just a little tour. Don't pay attention to that. But Right there connected is the staff's office over there. That's a sliding door, couple mirrors, a puzzle. That's a puzzle. I put that puzzle together, y'all. And then there's the office. So yeah, I try to make you feel like you're just stepping into the living room. We just kicking it. Tell me what's going on, and then maybe I can do some good things with you. So thank you. Okay, so Norfolk on the Capitol. Thank you also to David James Glass. It's on the 22nd, Wednesday the 22nd from 10 to 12. I appreciate you, Norfolk Day on the Capitol. Good morning, Mr. Little. And yep, Vanessa said, thought it was, yep, January 22nd. Yep, that's my mama's birthday. I should remember that. So that's where we're at. You can expect, because, and just, keeping it all the way funky with you, because it's an election year, I feel like sometimes because it's an election year, I feel like either people are really cautious with what they do or they're really bold with what they do. Oh, I didn't say this. I'll say it in a second, tell you about what's behind me. They're either really cautious or really bold. And so you get a different side of people, because some people have some things to prove because they're on the ballot. We're all on the ballot. Some people, let me make sure I did this right. So, yeah, some people have some things to prove. Some people don't. It's a whole thing, right? Like, it's a whole thing. So I'm really conscious of just trying to stay true to the work that you all ask us to do, supporting the things that you all feel like are priorities, and not trying to, ham up or tone down because it's an election year. I will always, always, always come from a place of truth and love and empathy. And like, if I don't understand, I'm here for it. This work that we do here in Richmond, it is a team sport for me. So I am not in Norfolk, right? I am not in the district Monday through Friday for a great deal of time, which means I'm losing a little bit of sight of what's going on down in my hometown, or just what's going on, period. Sometimes I was like, whoa. People were telling me about, I remember last week not even knowing that LA was on fire because I was so caught up in this work. So I'm leaning into y'all. Like, if y'all see something, somebody last night just sent me an article that has to do with one of my bills. And if you find something that you feel like is interesting, or you think I should be taking a look at or reading, send it to me, message it to me. Like, we do our very best. Like, it's beautiful. So like, I need you in this work, do the thing. We're doing this together. Over on Instagram, we have a question. David James Glass says, do all bills get sent to committee, or can the speaker choose not to put something up on the docket? Yeah. Everything is the bills that you see are up to the speaker's discretion. And in most cases, at least since I've been here, most bills get docketed, except for, I think, was it last year? Oh, 2 years ago. Yep, it was the last year that we were a Republican-controlled House. They had a bunch of members putting up bills for abortion bans and things like that, and their speaker chose to docket it. And he actually referenced it at when we were going back and forth on debate on the floor this past day before yesterday, when we went through the constitutional amendment. The former speaker said, like, we saw the writing on the walls and we chose not to, we changed our course, essentially, with the country sort of leaning into the fact that it supports people's body autonomy. That they didn't docket any of the bills that had anything to do with abortion. So it is at the discretion of the speaker, David. And that is a really good question. That means, and if you're not putting the puzzle pieces together, and something that I had to learn over the years, that means whoever is in charge of the House, right? Whoever is in charge of the House gets to choose the speaker. And the speaker essentially, does the ebbs and flows and is the thermostat of that body. So it's really important that you have good leadership there, because it can be costly. It could really change the tide on things. But that's a really great question. I'm so glad that you asked it. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Oops, this is me pressing stuff because it looks like my battery's playing with me. But any other questions, comments, concerns? I'm so proud of you. I mean that, getting up and getting at it. My hope is that when I get back in district on one of these Saturdays, that we're able to do a in-person town hall later in the year, maybe the top of February, so that we can actually see each other and you all have the opportunity to come and you can actually see, we can talk about face to face what's happening in the General Assembly. I did want to show you something. How I kind of loosen looking. I don't take myself too seriously. I think it's I think it's true that I don't take myself too serious, but I keep this, guys. Actually, I'm not going to pick it up because I spent time trying to get it. And give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. This is really important. It's in my office, okay? Give me a thumbs up if you actually agree. Are you ready? Do you agree? Do you agree? I think it's backwards on my screen. Yeah. Do you agree? Is it true? Are they always funny? I mean, we're all just big kids. I think, I don't know if you could read the whole thing. Could you? No? Am I going too far? Can we vote on this? Let's take a vote. Let's take a vote. I don't know if you with me or not, but yes, I do that to, chill the vibe. Don't take yourself too seriously. Behind me, I want to tell you, this is a skateboard deck from Cardinal Skate Shop on Granby in Norfolk, a small business that is amazing. I go there sometimes and I get sneakers and shirts, and I just love Cardinal Skate Shop. And this is one of their decks. It actually says Norfolk down here. It's really, really cool artwork just of the city. So trying to, support these businesses, man, that are doing amazing things. Oh, okay. So we got questions. I see a couple or one. Your fit looks, what's your fit look like down to the sneakers? Oh man, you're gonna make me do that early this morning. I'll show you my sneakers before I go. They're yellow and creamish looking. But I will put out a fit check video, okay, before the end of the week. I think tomorrow would probably be the best day, and then Friday is Friday, so I'll go through that. David James Glass, you are very welcome. He said that thank you. I've learned so much about the process. He's over on Instagram. I'm trying. So that's the most important thing. If we can get you all to understand, if we, like David, if you and I can understand how the things work, then I think we can operate better within the systems that are dictating our lives. So that's the goal here, is that at the very minimum, when you hear somebody saying they ain't doing nothing and things, and that you say, okay, but here's how it works, right? It's not that nothing is happening. This is where we are in the process. And then we can say that nothing is happening when we get to the end of the process and we don't get anything out of it. 9 times out of 10, we're going to get something. It's going to be a yes, a no, a next year, whatever. Because, nothing means something different to, it is a suggestive term. So yes, that's a thing, but that's what I want you to do. I want you to be aware of the process, because look, we believe that barking up the right tree is just as important as barking up a tree, right? Like, let's go. Okay. So, Brian Daniel says, I really appreciate your time that you spend with us the other day. Oh, you're very welcome. I was very happy to see those teens with the Purpose Kids there getting involved. Yeah, to support clean water. It was beautiful. I will be posting, Brian, actually. We did have some teens here that were advocating for clean water. They came back the next day. A different group of them from the same organization came back the next day to advocate for, not for, against gun violence. and we got some beautiful poetry, some real insight onto where their minds are with this and what they expect from us. So I'm a lot of tears. I just want to say that there's a lot of tears, but super grateful to have them and super grateful to have you come up here and advocate, Captain. I'm super grateful to have you advocate when you come up here, because that's a big deal. And I know that everybody can't do it. So for those of you all who are not able to make your way up to Richmond during these times, just know that I assure you there is probably someone here coming to this capital advocating for something you care about and you don't even know it. And it's not, and it doesn't take away from the fact that you're not able to be here, that there are just so many people who care so loudly that come up here. However, let's say, for instance, you can't come, but you see something. Remember, like we talked about LIS and stuff, and you see something on the news, or you're looking through bills and you want to have your voice heard. You can always email, right? You can email your comments. Number one, if it's up in committee, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about up in committee and stuff, then what I'll say is you need to go to summer school. Okay. Like, I need you to go to summer school with us for certified doers. I host that every year to get you in the know. So if you feel like you want to, like you're strong enough, like I really feel very strongly, I want to support or speak out against something, you can always virtually testify. And if you need some support with that, then we can, like, reach out to us. It's a little intuitive, but I don't want to say that it is very intuitive, because it depends on your digital literacy. It depends on your digital literacy. So you can testify, you can make written comment and it's posted online. The chairs typically go through and read the written comment. You can do a virtual testimony via Zoom, or you can come in person. So like those things. And as I'm thinking about it, I think I need to make a video just for how to testify when you can't get to Richmond. And I think that would be helpful for a lot of people, because I always, if there's something that's important to you, I feel like you should be able to let folks know how you feel about it. Marky, hey, says I'm late, but I'm here, so you can catch everything on the replay, because we're about to wrap it up. So glad to see you here this morning, certified doer. Vanessa Wadsworth says, I like how I can come to your page before I go to Richmond for my AFL-CIO convention, and we come to the Capitol. Yeah, y'all come strong. Miss Julie, y'all she's at CIU, but y'all becomes strong. Okay, Vanessa. You're a big help when it comes to understanding a bill. Thanks. I will see you on January 26th, 27th. I cannot wait to see you and put my arms around you. It will be exciting. Oh, Marky, yes, I love it. Y'all, can we please in the chat give her some love? Like I'm serious. This is a big deal. She said, I just did a written comment for one of Delegate Seabold's bill. Yes. I bet you I know which bill it is. Maybe is it the speed camera bill? Because I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Please, if you can in the chat, give Marky like all the props. Please high five her, all that stuff. Give her some hand claps. Awesome. So proud of you. So glad that you did it. See y'all. And you can tell them like it may not this. I'm taking this out. It's just give me too much problem. It may not be the easiest thing to do, but take your time, put it in a text, and then send it our way. Love it. Congratulations on your written testimony. It's a big deal. Last question, and then I got to head out because I got places to be this morning. David James Glass says, which would be appropriate committee to make an online testimony concerning taxes in SB 970 and HB 245? So you go to that. Have they, David, if they've been docketed, then you just go to that bill and you can do written comments on that specific bill. Going to Virginia General Assembly. This is on Instagram, so I can't put it up here for y'all to see, but he has two bills and wants to do some online testimony concerning those two. So keep an eye on them. You should be able to put an alert on those bills so you'll get automatic alerts when things are shifting with it. And if you want to do an online testimony, you have to sign up. If the committee happens before 12 o'clock, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to want you to sign up before 4 o'clock the day previous. If the bill is after 12 o'clock, then you have to sign up, I think, by noon that day. Don't quote me on that. There's a guideline there. So put an alert on those bills, David. Make sure that when they come up for committee that you sign up for virtual testimony. And then they'll do the whole process of sending you the link and doing the things, and you'll come online and you'll be able to testify. And I'm telling you, when you do it, please share with us, because the more we see people doing it, it's like it's courage. It's positive peer pressure to like find the things that matter to you. And I imagine that's the bill for the marijuana paraphernalia. I'm not sure. James, you can drop, I'm calling you James, David. I'm not sure, but you can drop it in the comments. So, and let us know. Kristen, yes, active citizenry is what we want. It makes it better. I'm just telling y'all, when y'all get at my neck about something, I get smarter, or I get to get firmer in my, it is all a good thing. So I'm grateful that you all have your things and that you, advocate. Remember, we educate, advocate, celebrate, then we legislate. We don't do none of them first. We don't do that last piece, legislate, without doing the first 3 really well. And the education piece goes both ways. Last couple things. Thanks for keeping us updated. You are very welcome. This is all on Instagram. And David James Glass says, I'm watching, but I'm wondering what the right committee would be to make comments on taxes. So typically for in the House, David, taxes go through the finance committee, and you'll see when it gets referred. If you're just looking to make an overall statement on taxes, what you can do is you can go to that committee page on the Committee on Finance for the House, and then you can send an email to all of those members of that committee and say, hey, I am David Glass. I am, contacting you about X, Y, and Z, and just let them know how you feel. And then also, because a lot of times during session, we're getting a lot of emails from all over the place, to make sure and those people may not, you might not rise to the top because you're not their constituent, but, make sure you say you're on this committee, you'll be hearing this. Reach out also to your legislators and say, hey, I'm your constituent. This is how I feel about this tax situation. And I'm hoping that you will vote however this way, should this bill come your way. So that's what I would recommend doing. It's a yes and. Yeah, knowing is half the bottle. Yep, it's the tax on marijuana paraphernalia. I would definitely make sure that I reached out to my legislators, and then maybe send a blanket email. If there's nothing docketed if those things haven't been docketed yet, they haven't gotten to it. Because I'm gonna be frank with you, y'all, it's a lot of bills come our way. A lot, right? We've got a lot of bills coming our way, and 9 times out of 10, I'm not even really concerning myself with the bill until I know I'm going to vote on it. So unless it's a hot topic, right? They're like the constitutional amendments or something like that. Unless it's a hot topic, I'm not looking at it. I'm not in the know on it. I haven't read it, and I'm definitely focusing on what I'm going to see in subcommittee or committee first, then those things that I'm going to see on the floor, because I'm making those actions that I make in subcommittee determine whether or not it goes to the floor. So if you find that a legislator is like, you tell them about a bill and they don't know about it, they're not on that committee, that subcommittee or committee that hears it, and it hasn't come to the floor, don't be mad at them. There's thousands of bills, right? There are thousands. Remember, it's 15 of us. And if each of us, it's 100 of us, and if each of us did our bill limit of 15, that's a lot of freaking bills, right? So over 1,000 bills. So what I'm saying to you all is that Grace, we need you so you can put your people in the know before it even comes aware, before it's even on their radar, which makes your input that much more valuable, because they can see it through a lens of a constituent. All right. There we go. All right. So last things, and I'm out. How are you taking care of yourself? I'm drinking water. I got a great staff there holding me accountable. Don't forget. He said, don't forget to stay hydrated and eat. That is the whole thing. So I'm glad there's somebody who's beat me up. Proud of you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying, doing my best to do a fantastic job. And then David Glass says the bills won't get signed by Youngkin, but I'm getting a jump on next year. That's okay. advocacy doesn't stop just because there ain't a bill in motion, or it's like sometimes it's just the act of bringing more people in. It has been a lovely morning with you all on the Morning Dew for Certified Doers just like you. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the page, right? Tell your friends what we're doing over here. I will try to daily keep the stories updated so that you can kind of see in real time how things are happening. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out our office. Go ahead and sign up for our newsletter on delegatejackieglass.com. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Make it a great day, certified doers. Bye.